Hello, and how are you doing today? So let me ask you, tell me you haven't missed anything about the SuperFit for Summer extravaganza we've got going on, because I am pretty excited about it. But I have to say, there's a little caveat there. One of my members was like, "Hey, I haven't heard anything about SuperFit on the podcast." I went, "Oops." So I have usurped one of our other episodes so that I can throw this out here just in case you haven't heard about it and you want to join us, because this is going to be a fun one. Uh, and I also want to say that you know me, if you followed me at all, I am all about small steps, slow steps, consistency, habit shifting, habit building, all the smart, consistent steps that get us where we want to go, right? And every so often, you just got to mix it up. So that's what Superfit for Summer is all about. And that's what I want to chat with you today. So thank you so much for being here. So let's dive in real quick to what you can use to reverse everything I'm always saying and why. Like, why would I even be like, oh, well, let's do something different than what you always say? Uh, I know a couple of things. Like, one of them is that, well, first, I should just say this. If you're watching on YouTube, this is Kelly, as dirty and sweaty and disgusting as I get. So if you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening on the podcast, just be grateful. Just be grateful for not having the visual. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to jump on and just say hi to everybody. But what I've known is that it is true that starting small, starting slow, being consistent, focusing on one thing at a time, building a really good foundation before you go forward. Um, Focus on, concentrated actions that lead to specific benefits. Like, all those things are really important. Absolutely. Like, I will never not say they are. But I also know that sometimes we just need to shake things up. And the reason for that is that maybe we need a fresh start. Maybe we need to see what we might want to do different. Maybe we need to look and see what kind of quick changes can I make that lead to long-term results. Like, how can I push myself hard for a short burst? That's one of those big pieces that I love working with people on, is about, like, taking your fitness foundation and then just like up leveling it for a little while and push, and then come back to where you were. So that's in a way what Superfit for Summer is. It's really good for us to, like, shake it up, as long as, and I'm going to throw a caveat in here, as long as when we're shaking it up, we are careful, we don't get injured, we don't cause any problems, all those good things. And when you do a restart like this, when you do like a reboot, it increases your energy, it increases your motivation, your excitement levels, your, just all the stuff. It makes you move forward faster. I know for myself, maybe let's go back a couple years ago. I was being like doing all the things that I do. Like, I was being very consistent. I was Every week I would, up my exercise a little bit, my weights, do my flexibility, do my mobility, do my cardio, all that, all the things, which is, yes, what I think we should be doing. And every so often you get that little voice in the back of your head going, whoa, Kelly, this is getting boring. Let's shake it up. And so I did. At that point, what I did was I actually signed up for, and I don't know why, I signed up for a 25K. It was a trail run, but I don't run, so it was going to be a heck of a fast walk for me. And what it did was it just got me out of my complacency of doing the same thing again and again, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it gets kind of old. So in doing that 25K, it was about 10 weeks, which is how long we're going to be doing Superfit for. It was about 10 weeks where I went from, oh, I think I'm going to just do my same thing again, to, quite frankly, holy shit, I have this big race and I need to at least be able to go do it. So it was fun. Actually, it was fun. And when I got done, I went right back to where I had been before, doing the things that I love to do that I know are really, really good for my body. So that's what we're really doing here, is we're doing that reboot, that kickstart. And then we settle back into after the summer's over, we settle back into what's going to work best for us for long term until we get the, the zips, the zips again and do it again. So before we go any further, I want to know a couple of things really quick. This is about like moving forward. And if you know, like you're ready for a good kickstart, just go to the website. It's at fitisfreedom.com/superfit, and you can register there. So you're in with the group. And just, I guarantee, like I really guarantee that you will get kickstarted and back on track. You're going to have a reboot, and this is going to shake off any cobwebs that might be happening. So it's time, right? I don't know about you, but it is for me. As I tell the dogs when it's time for breakfast, es el tiempo. Let's do this thing, right? So Super Fit for Summer. Basically, we're going to be focusing on a different aspect of fitness each week. Okay. And these are small bites. This is not like this big, huge, deep dive in, like I tend to like to do. These are small bites. So you're going to take what you like and you're going to ignore the rest. That's the way to do this. Like, do what you like, ignore the rest, move on to the next week. And what happens is we're going to find things that really move the needle for us. We're all different. Our bodies are different. What worked at 20 doesn't work at 50 or any other pre, middle, post menopausal thing going on. Our bodies have been changing. And I think it's time for us to catch up with our bodies, because I have too many times when I am working with someone and she's doing the thing that used to work, the thing that worked for her in college when she wanted to lose weight, or that worked for her at 28 when she wanted to train for a 10K or whatever it was. Our bodies are different. We have to catch up with how our bodies are now, because when we do, they're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're able to do all these awesome things that are so much fun. So what we'll be looking at, and okay, some things don't change. This piece does not change. When you talk to Kelly, you're going to always hear me say this one. It's like they say that a leopard doesn't change her spots. I used to say, okay, super corny. I had an Appaloosa horse when I was young. She was called a leopard app. So she had all these spots all over. So I used to always say a leopard Appaloosa does not change her spots. What we're going to do, we're going to start out with is we're going to need a fitness plan. Okay. We're just going to need a plan. And it's going to be a plan. We're not going to do like some sort of exercise schedule, because that's so, 5 decades ago. We're going to do a fitness plan that fits your body, your proclivities, your pain and injuries, and the time that you have in your schedule. Those are the things that we have to work with. Okay. We'll do that. We'll probably be doing a little bit of Sugar Freedom Light. Okay. If you've ever done Sugar Freedom with me, it's really awesome because it makes big changes, but it's also 30 days of no sugar, let's make all these big changes. And it's arduous. Quite frankly, there's a lot of things that go on with it, but Sugar Freedom Light, it's going to be like, let's pick out the things that are the worst, get rid of them. But then the fun thing is that we'll also focus on what can we bring in? Like, what can we bring in that's going to move the needle physically, like in a healthy manner? Like, what foods should we be eating? What are the empty calories that can be replaced with the good ones? Like, what can we do that? And supplements, like what are the things that we can bring in to make our body have changes really fast? Because why not, right? This is about fast. Let's move fast for the summer. Okay. We're also going to be looking at weight loss versus fat loss. This comes up all the time. People love their scales. Scales are bad. Scales are the devil. Scales, and I tease. Okay, I'm teasing y'all. But the truth is that on a scale of 1 to 10, a scale is probably as valuable as a 5, because it gives you a picture, but it doesn't give you the big picture. So much more goes on in our bodies that doesn't really have to do with weight. Like, you lose a pound of fat, you gain 2 pounds of muscle. It looks like you've gained weight, but in fact, you're that much more healthy. Okay. You're that much more slender. So think about that. So we're going to be looking at that. We're also going to be dealing with like the whole idea that Summer is a lot about schedules being up in the air. Okay. People have already said to me, oh, can't do this because I've got all this stuff going on in the summer. I'm like, hey guys, life. We have a lot of stuff going on in life. So if we can learn to deal with it in small bites over like 10 weeks, we can learn to deal with everything that's going on in summer in small bites, then we'll be able to, as things settle down at the end of summer, to get really, really consistent and dial in the things that work for us. Personally, I know what it's like to have schedules get messed up, to have schedules be kind of up in the air. When I'm recording this for you, we are, bar anything unforeseen, we are planning on taking our RV for the summer. I'm actually quite nervous about this. We're taking our RV for the summer to drive up to Canada and around the United States and do stuff, right? Visit family, do things. And it sounds like so much fun, right? And I also know something that I didn't really realize before. I am a super creature of habit. I normally, when I travel, I have my schedule at home, which includes, working and working out and all of those things. And then when I go to, vacation, I don't worry about it. I go play and then I come back and I do my thing. But what we're talking about this summer is working on the road. Okay. So I'll be working in the RV with the dogs, Romeo and Juliet, very close to me, and Phil. And I'm like, wow, I mean, how am I going to continue to do all the things that I like to do, like exercise, weights, all of those good things? Meditate? How are you going to meditate with two dogs, like drooling on you, trying to get you to take them for a walk? So we'll see. We'll see. But in that, what it is good for is it allows me to be right in the middle of all the mess with everybody else. Like I'm not going to have the routine that, I fall back on all the time. In fact, I'm not even sure if I should tell you this story, but I thought it was so funny when I wrote it down. But I'm such a creature of habit that I have a great laptop. I mean, I have a beautiful laptop, but I don't use it. Like it's the emergency thing. I have this big desktop computer that's probably 2.5 feet wide. And I literally take that with me in the RV because I'm like, nope, I am going to have some of my same routines. So there you go. Finding things that work. In a way, I laugh at myself for doing that, but it is finding something that works because I know it's easier for me to work that way. So do it, right? So all I can say is that we need to be ready to mix up what's going on this summer, right? Mix it up and have some fun. So a couple of other things. So we're going to be looking at things that stop us from going forward, finding what makes us the biggest differences. I said that earlier, but it's such a big deal. And finding the things that move the needle fastest. Okay. So we'll be, like I said, we're going to be talking about time, how to deal with it. And I know, like I totally know we're busy. The women I work with, they're busy, they're smart, they're successful, they have things going on, and they want to make a difference in their life with their health. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be looking at staying motivated. We'll be dealing with injuries. Okay. This is that thing that if I could never talk about something again, this would be it, because in my perfect world, no one would have them, but we get them. At this moment, like when I'm recording this, I have 3 women in my world that I know that have all either broken a leg or an ankle in the last 3 months. And it's so interesting to see the difference in their recoveries. Okay. And all of them had a similar kind of break, a clean break, not a terrible thing, just a, clean break, no surgery, let's get well. And one person, she just kind of crumbled. She broke an ankle and she just crumbled. Like basically she didn't get out of bed for weeks and weeks and weeks. And by the time she got back to it, it was like, I mean, when we sit around for 8 weeks, everything starts going bad quick. Our muscles deteriorate very fast. And so we need to be able to be like the next person I want to talk about, who she broke an ankle. Okay. unfortunate move. She stepped in something that she didn't see, and there it goes. But what she said to me was so powerful. She said, you know what? I realize now how important my fitness is. I have always known it was important, and that's why we work together, because I'm focusing on it. But now I realize it's even more important than I ever realized. And it's so true, right? Like when we focus on our fitness, then it's like this third person. She is a true athlete. Okay. I know her from years ago when I used to do races. And she, like, I mean, not only is she a true athlete, she has trainers, and she has, all the stuff. And I watched her go through this. She broke her leg. And I've watched what she did in the shortest period of time with all the help she had, because she had all this amazing help. And it's awesome. Awesome. And she's in her 60s. So knowing this, and knowing what my one friend said, which is, we have to have that foundation. So this is what it's about. I refuse to get on the bandwagon today because I'm kind of goofy, but think about it. We're going to deal with injuries. If you have them, we'll work with them. If you don't have them, we're going to work with any pain and lingering issues that you have going on, because I think that's really big. It stops us from doing the things we want to do. We'll deal with sugar light. Okay. I personally don't want to go through them through sugar freedom this summer. And so we're going to do sugar light, and then we're going to do, the right things that we need to bring in. We're going to deal with all the distractions, and we're going to work on flexibility. I think flexibility is so important. And so important that I'm just going to say this is embarrassing, but true. I was talking on our call the other day for the Fittest Freedom group, and I said, well, why don't we look at some chair yoga? Because I had somebody who was immobile, and I said, why don't we try that? So I came up with some chair yoga video. I said, I'll even do it because I'm going to be doing a lot of sitting, so I want to do this. So threw it out there to everybody. Everybody's like, sure, let's give this a go. Well, I do it, and I'm like, those hips are not as flexible as I thought they were. Like I do my mobility every day. I thought they were pretty flexible, but I did it. The next day I'm walking the dogs, and I'm thinking, what did I do yesterday? My sorry, my legs are sore. I lift weights and squat with weights, and my legs don't get sore. My legs are sore. What did I do? And all of a sudden I went, oh geez, it was chair yoga. So obviously I need to work on my flexibility too. And it just, it sneaks up on you, even if you think you're doing it all right. So I want to see big results for everybody, because like this whole SuperFit thing is all about huge wins. Okay. Well, let me say this. Sometimes people say that they've tried everything. They've just tried everything. I have a client who said that she used to be what she would term a quitter. And I was like, don't use that word. And she's like, that's what I was. I was a quitter. And she said, every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, I'd try something new. I'd do it for a while, and then I'd quit. And now she doesn't. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that. Now she is like rock solid, full on. I love this woman. She does amazing things. Okay. It took her a little while to, kind of dial in her fitness and her consistency and figuring this out. Right. But what I hear people say is, I've tried it all and it hasn't worked. So with SuperFit for summer, I want to just do as fast as possible I can to solve that hole. I've tried everything, and the other 99 didn't work, but this one did. Okay. So if you're ready for something different, if you're ready for like some quick, fun, fast, big changes, just join us for the SuperFit for summer. Okay. You can register, you can get your name on the list at fitisfreedom.com/superfit. Okay. fitisfreedom.com/superfit. And when we come back from the break, I've got 3 little things that I'd like to throw out you just to wrap everything up. So first, thank you for coming here and listening to the end, because you know what, when people listen to the very end of the podcast, what I've found is those are the women who take action. Like those are the ones who aren't just like channel surfing. Remember channel surfing? They're not the channel surfers. They're the ones who go, you know what? Okay, I'm in. I'm going to try this thing. So one, get excited. Get excited because I want to know what Super Fit for summer is going to do for you. Then make sure you go and register to join us at fitisfreedom.com/superfit. It will be in the show notes, but I just want to make sure that you've got it. Okay. fitisfreedom.com/superfit. And then the last thing I want to say is, and I'm I'm not going to say get excited again because I really am trying to dial it down here today. And this is Kelly. This is Kelly with 1 cup of coffee. But I want you to think about what is the summer going to look like at the end of the summer if you do super fit, right? If you actually say, you know what, how many things can I change? How many things can I change? And what's going to stick? And what am I going to figure out? And then just go download your handout for the SuperFit group. Okay. It's super simple. It's not a big deal, but I made something so that you've got something to follow along on. And then everything starts beginning in June. So get ready. This is going to be a good one. And you'll also, you'll also get to see me in my RV with the dogs as we figure out how to navigate all kinds of things in life. So thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you hopefully in SuperFit. Take care.